Yeah. So I like what you said. It reminded me of something. There's round bonds and flat bonds. They both start with the width of a section, right? And so the
Yes.
width of that section with a flat bond, the hair stays wide. The hair stays wide like that. The bond is put on there flat. It spreads and is folded, but that section stays wide through the bond, through the hair, through the ends, and it's flat and blends in with the hair a little more consistently from the scalp to the end. With a round bond, now I'll still do some round bonds, but it's usually when I'm doing a half, a fourth, a third, a really tiny little
It
bond, and
has
it's
its place, yeah.
big fat fingers a little too difficult without a microscope to hold a bond and get it flat. And I don't know if it matters when you're putting a teeny tiny one in. So it's easier just to get in there and roll it really quickly, and it'll blend in better. And I'll show you the difference here. I have one of each on this head. When they're smaller, the round bonds tend to blend better. When they're bigger, the flat bonds tend to blend better. But you're right with a flat bond, when you're doing bigger, that section starts wide still, and then with a round bond, it gets pulled into the center like a ponytail. And just like a client says at the end of the day, taking their ponytail out of their head, that feels good. Well, there was stress on the hair that shouldn't have possibly been there. Can you imagine having that stress in 150 little sections all over the head for 3 or 4 months? That is stress that the hair doesn't need to feel. And that is okay on some people. Medium to thick hair can handle it. But fine, thinning haired clients, they feel a lot more. They get damaged a lot more from that. So a flat, wide bond with a little more hair in it. And I don't say go wider for more hair. I say go a little deeper, which is going to force you to be a little further away from the head. All the things most stylists think are big no-nos. Oh, God, don't go so far away from the head. It's going to look like it's grown out. I don't care if
Yeah.
it looks like it's grown out a little if I'm saving the client's hair long term.
Well, here's the thing to that grown out too, and I'll support that and say additionally with hair color with foils, with highlighting. The idea was always to try to get as close to the scalp as possible, to not have any outgrowth showing. But
Yeah.
with extensions, you need that 360-degree rotation. You need that full range movement. Because if you put a bond straight to the scalp, it's going to grow straight out from the scalp and then it's going to waterfall down. It's going to create this weird C-shaped pattern as it's growing out. The amount of tension, the gravitational pull, and the amount of tension on that section as it starts growing out like that, instant breakage if you're lucky. And if you're not lucky, that hair is gonna turn in a weird way. It's gonna grab the other hairs next to it, and you're gonna end up with a tangled hot mess. You're gonna end up with matting, dreadlocking, and it's just gonna be a mess.